Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carol and I am going to be doing an energy reading this week, and this is for the week of March 17th to March 23rd. And this time period includes March 21st, and March 21st is an interesting day. It's the spring equinox. It's also the super full moon in Libra, and it's also part of the 4333 gateways in the month of March. So the energies are showing that this week is going to be big, especially for manifestation. And I'm already seeing this in my own journey. The last few days, I've realized that I've been able to manifest things much more quickly and much more consistently than I've been able to before. So I have a feeling, or I'm getting, that this time period is going to be very important for anyone that is on this journey. But it's stressing that it's very, very important to do the work. If you notice, I'm burning the throat chakra candle because I did a reading for a friend yesterday, and the subject of communication, holding yourself back, and being your authentic self came up consistently in this reading for her. So the energies are showing me right now that it's very, very important to stand in your truth, to make sure that you're saying what you mean, and to make sure that you're being truthful with yourself. And the energies during this time period are very, very strong. I'm sure you all have noticed that. But if you can be yourself and you can have fun and you can communicate with people properly, because let's face it, Mercury retrograde is affecting us too, whether you want to admit it or not, because we had face-apocalypse that happened last week. But if you can do that, if you can cleanse your energies, focus them, stay in a high vibration, this time period can be a big time period in a positive way for you. So I'm shuffling the Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland. I'm going to be pulling, I was going to say 3, but I'm getting to pull 4 cards from this deck. And then my clarifiers are going to come from the True Love reading cards, the Wild Offering Oracle by Tasha Silver, by the way, the True Love reading cards are by Belinda Grace, and the Gateway Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. Okay, so I have 2 cards, and I'm looking for 2 more regarding the energies for this week, including the 333 Gateway on March 21st. Two more cards, please. There's another one. This is already turning out interesting, just looking at what I'm seeing here. Okay, y'all are going to like that last card that came out. Okay, so the 4 cards that came out from the Moonology deck, the first one says, the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. So this full moon area of March right now, the beginning, of course, was the new moon, which is always the beginning of the moon cycle. The full moon is always the climax, which is coming up on March 21st. So this is signifying that if you've been having a rough time of it, or you've been doubting, you've been trying to fight off negativity, you're having a hard time cleansing yourself, this is showing that whatever rough cycle you've been going through, whatever rough time you've been going through, that is now going to come to an end. The second card, and I can testify to this one because I'm a Cancer, it's the supermoon. Emotions are running high. It's interesting this card came out because this full moon is a supermoon in Libra, as I believe I mentioned before. So we all know full moons make emotions run high. We are 80% water, so we can't help but be affected by the moon, no matter what sign of the zodiac you are. So this is also telling us to make sure that you're keeping yourself grounded, keeping yourself stable, keep yourself in a high vibration, because it's very easy to be emotional during this time. And that's not saying that emotions are wrong. They're absolutely not. But sometimes when you're emotional, especially when you're in Mercury retrograde, things don't get communicated the way you want them to. So be very careful during this time as to what your emotions are showing. And the other thing I'm getting is that when your emotions are running high like this, figure out what it is that's causing it. And here's why I say that. When you're facing a situation where you are, let's say, negatively impacted by something somebody else says or does, it's not necessarily that person that you're reacting to. It's something within yourself. So when these emotions come up, or when you're triggered, or when something happens, this is the time to go within yourself and actually examine your thoughts and examine what you're doing and figure out what it is that's causing your emotions to be out of whack for the situation. And I'm getting that if you can do that, you will find a balance and you'll find a sense of peace, because you'll be able to figure out where it is that this is coming from, and you will be able to cleanse your energies, take that out of the equation, and if you can do that, you can be on a more even keel. The third card is North Node, step out of your comfort zone. This is telling me that during this time period, especially since I said this time is going to be big for manifestation, there's going to be things that happen that you may not be comfortable with, okay? There's going to be things that are going to happen that you're going to go, whoa, wait a minute, I didn't expect that. This is saying whatever you do, go with it. Even if it's something that you don't normally do, go with it. Step out of your comfort zone. Do something different. That's when the magic happens. And most of all, let me say this. It's become apparent to me very recently that one of the most important things to do, especially when you're manifesting, is to have fun. The emotion of joy that happens when you're having fun is imperative to whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to manifest, because I truly believe that you can manifest your twin. I know that because I did it myself. And I'll tell you very simply how I did it. This is important. The way I did it was I made sure I was in love with myself, number one. That's the first thing. Number two, I made sure that I was enjoying myself, whatever I did. Whatever urge bit me to do whatever I wanted to do at that point, I went and did it. As long as it wasn't hurting anybody else and it was going to make me happy, that's what I did. And I did that for a few months and didn't even realize until later that I had manifested my twin. So during this journey, it's very, very important that you make sure that you're having fun. Don't get distracted by the negative. Don't get distracted by the emotions that are going on. Make sure you keep doing your work. And the fourth one, the one I said you all were going to like, a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in, Libra, which actually we're getting ready to come into Libra season. So this is also indicating to me that new starts are going to happen. Whatever those new starts may be, it may not be just romantic, it may be financial, it may be other areas of your life, but definitely the romantic cycle is coming through, because if you're doing what's already coming out in this reading, if you're controlling your emotions, if you're focusing on having fun, stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things you've never done before, you're not going to concentrate on the journey, and that's when things happen. So I'm going to pull one clarifier card from each deck. The first one's going to be the True Love Reading cards by Belinda Grace. One card, please. That one flew out. This card says emotional freedom. Let me read this one from the deck. I have a feeling this is going to be important. Isn't it interesting? The subject of emotions keeps coming up in here. Okay, this says, true emotional freedom is liberating in its ability to embrace individuality in yourself and others. You have drawn this card today because deep down you still believe or fear that being in a loving relationship will compromise your personal autonomy and emotional freedom. No matter how much you desire love and commitment on the one hand, there is a part of you that holds back because of this old feeling. Alternatively, if you're already in a relationship, it's time to acknowledge that your partner is not really limiting or suppressing you. No one can truly control you, so this card is suggesting that it's time to reclaim your power, make healthier choices for yourself, and act upon them. This is kind of going along with the subject of communication, emotional freedom, making sure that you're controlling your emotions enough to where you are not being guided by them. You're able to be guided by your heart, by your spirit, by your intuition. Doing that will make sure that you are making choices that are going to be good for you and whoever is around you. All right, second clarifier is going to come from the Wild Offering Oracle. One card, please, from the Wild Offering Oracle. One card, please. Okay, this card is called Hardship. And it says, may I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours. This goes along with the first card that was pulled here about the end of a tough cycle. There's a lot of people in this journey right now that I've seen, because I'm in a couple of groups on Facebook that are twin flame based. And I'm seeing people really being hurt, really being emotional about their twins. And most of the people in these groups are all divine feminines, so it's their divine masculines that they're getting this from. And because I'm an empath, and I'm sure most of you understand this, I can literally feel their pain. I know what it's like to be rejected. I know what it's like to be ghosted. I've been through that. I had the person that was my catalyst twin, and one day I'll explain to you what I mean by that. The person that I thought was my true twin that ended up being my catalyst twin actually told me that I was too old and too crippled to be with. As you can imagine, that was kind of hard to deal with for me, but it sent me into a space where I was able to say, okay, I don't want to repeat the same mistakes that I did in the past. So what do I need to do in order to make sure that I'm different so that I attract somebody that I truly want? And that's when I really went on my spiritual journey, and I was able to figure out what I needed to do for myself in order to make sure that I was doing what I needed and what I wanted. And I learned how to love myself and to forgive myself. And that is when I manifested my twin. So whoever's out there that's going through these hard times where you're not talking to your twin, you've been in separation, I feel your pain. I really do. I've been there with you, but I'm here to tell you right now, you can come out of it. Whatever you're doing right now, you will not believe how good you're going to feel when you come out on the other side. And this is my encouragement to you, to keep going. Don't stop. Do your work. Continue this journey, because believe me when I tell you, it is so worth it. Okay, the last card that came out from the Gateway Oracle deck by Denise Lynn is called Flying Free. I unfurl my wings and fly. Let's read this one from the book. And this is going to be an appropriate ending to this reading. It says, be daring. Cast aside conventions and restrictions. Dance, laugh, explore. Go beyond your predictable behavior and say yes to life. By doing so, you support others in finding their wings. What a beautiful message. This is all about being your authentic self, which is what we've been talking about this entire reading. And I've watched other readings recently. This actually came up, like I said, in the reading I did for my friend, and then I read some other readings that were saying the same thing. The energies are all saying the same thing. Make sure that you're being yourself. Make sure that you're being authentic. Make sure that you're speaking your truth. That is how you will fly free, and you will free yourself from whatever shackles or chains you feel like you're under. Because guess what? You're not confined by anything. The sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want to do as long as you do your work. Forgive me because I get a little emotional when I see this because, again, like I said, I know how it is and I know what it's like to come out on the other side, and that is what I want for all of you. I want you all to be in the space I'm in where you're looking back on everything that happened to you during this journey, and one day you look back on it and you go, you know what? No matter what I went through, no matter what hardships it looked like I was going through, no matter how bad things got, it was all worth it. And that's my heartfelt wish for all of you, is that you all come out on the other side and you realize that it was worth it. So just a brief recap. The tough times are ending. Emotions are high. Step out of your comfort zone. Be yourself. Fly free. Be your authentic self. Do you. Do your work. That's where you gain the emotional freedom out of that hardship. And you get your new romantic beginning. Again, my name is Carol. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching my channel. If you like what you've heard, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all on the next video. Be blessed. Have a good one.